Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Bolt Report for another episode of Thunderstruck. My name is Michael Wax, and I am joined, as always, by my co host, Jake Ricker. Today, we are joined by yet another very special guest. He was drafted by the Calgary Flames 19th overall in the 1994 draft and won the 2001 Stanley Cup with Colorado Avalanche before being traded to the Lightning from the Carolina Hurricanes the next season. In parts of 4 seasons with Tampa Bay, he played 173 regular season games for the Bolts and won the 2004 Stanley Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chris Dingman.
How's it going, guys? Oh, how's it going?
There we go. We got you. Doing good. How are you?
Pretty good, thank you. I just realized my AirPods weren't actually working, so I had to make a little technical adjustment there. So
no worries.
All good, all good. So, we know you have a long history before coming to Tampa, but since we are a Tampa-based sports-based show, we want to ask you about what was your initial reaction being dealt to the Lightning in 2002?
it was great because I was traded to Carolina after winning a cup in Colorado, and it wasn't. It was a good place, but I wasn't playing maybe as much as I thought I was going to after playing in the Stanley Cup Finals. So I was actually looking for a new change of scenery or a new place to play, and then found out I got traded to Tampa. I believe we were on the road, and we were in Chicago. So I was a little surprised because I only had one suit. It was like a 1 or 2 game road trip, so I only had one suit and a few pairs of underwear and socks, and so I got traded with not a lot of stuff. So it was kind of a surprise, but I was happy and excited, and I got to Tampa and the sun was shining, and staying at the Marriott Waterside there, and I was like, wow, this isn't like real life. Growing up in Canada, like all this sun and got a roof. I believe the Marriott's got the pools on the roof, so yeah, it was a bit of an adjustment, but then I had to go buy some shorts and some more clothes. They were better suited for warm weather, but it was awesome. I was pretty excited.
So we always hear stories about how it's difficult for players and their families sometimes getting dealt and moving to a new place. This was your third time being traded. What was different about this trade than the other ones?
Well, this one I wanted to be traded. Like Calgary, I didn't want to be traded, but there was the GM and the head scout that drafted me. They were no longer there, Doug Risebrough. So once that happens, you're not somebody's guy, I guess is the best way to put it. So, like if I'm the GM and I draft you, I'm gonna do everything and try and get you to play, and I want you to play because it makes me look good. If you don't, then I look bad. So, so in that sense, and then I got traded from Colorado. I didn't want to be traded because I just won a cup, and it was a surprise. I believe it was the second day of the draft that I got a phone. Oh, I woke up on Sunday morning. This is when I used to, before kids, when I used to turn my cell phone off. So I turned my cell phone completely off, and I woke up Sunday morning sometime. I was out Saturday night with some friends and turned my phone on. I had like 14 voicemails, and I figured something was going on. So I was traded, and it was a shocker. It was pretty disappointing. And then I was excited to go to Carolina, and then, pull my groin in training camp, and, away we went, and then I wasn't playing as much. So, yeah, this was, coming here, like I didn't necessarily want to come to Tampa. I know every time playing in those other cities, when you'd come to Florida, it was always fun. Just because we'd always have a rookie trip or something, usually because we'd always have 2 or 3 days in between games, or we'd play a game and have a couple of days off. And it's a beautiful place. It's sunny. It's beautiful. So it worked out great. But I didn't know a lot about Tampa other than just coming in and playing.
So when you joined the team, I know the first year they didn't end up making the playoffs, but over those next 2 seasons, going from the conference semifinals to ultimately lifting the cup in '04, what changed from when you got there originally to that championship winning squad over those 2 years in your eyes?
Well, we got healthy and we got better players. So I got traded to Tampa. I believe, I could be wrong, but Tim Taylor was out, Marty St. Louis was out, Freddie Modine was hurt. There's a ton of guys. And it got to the point where I actually hurt my back too in Montreal. I got hit and tweaked my back. I couldn't bend over, so I missed like a week or something. But they were literally calling guys up from the East Coast, like straight from like skipping the American Hockey League because we'd already called or the team had already called too many guys up. Not too many, but your American Hockey League team, you want them to make the playoffs. You want them to have a good team. So they were literally calling guys up from the East Coast, and it was kind of funny. And this one guy was kind of, and about something, and guys were like, "Shut the, like, just be happy you're here. You shouldn't be here." But there's 10 guys injured, so. What changed is we got better players. The good young players we had evolved and became better players. The Marty St. Louis, Brad Richards, Dan Boyle's going down the line, being a Cavalier. And then we brought in good veteran players. Daryl Sador, Kubina was here, Andrew Chuck, Tim Taylor, Freddie Modine, like going down the line. So, and then I was just learning how to win because the team had not been good for, I don't know, however many years. They made the playoffs a couple times, but it was just you get in a culture where you don't know how to win, I think, basically. And then, guys didn't, not that they didn't know how to win, but like everybody buying in and doing what it takes to win. And that's kind of really what changed over those couple of years. And, we took Jersey to 5 games. Everyone was like, I think it was triple overtime we lost. And then Jersey went on to win the cup. And guys we were all sitting around going, well, we just lost. We just took, that game, it was a pretty close series. So we, maybe could have beat them, probably not. But I think everyone kind of looked around and said, man, we got a pretty good team here. And the next year we went on a run and had some wins and stuff. So I think just a lot of those things. I think it was learning how to win, realizing we had a good team. They became a great team. We had good players. They're becoming great players. And doing the little things and, the Torch stuff and the Craig Ramsey talking about safe is deaf. And we joke about that, but safe isn't deaf. Safe is perfect because that's how we won. We played good defense. We battled, and our goal scorer scored when they needed to. So it was just the whole culture. That's what Torts coming in really wanted to change, was to not get off the ice and get in the shower as quick as you can and throw your golf stuff on and go golfing, because that was kind of the country club atmosphere. So really changing that and just being a place where people want to play. And you look, I was just there a couple of weeks ago, and like, it's unbelievable what they've done in the arena and the changes over the years and the team. And to see that legacy, I don't know if you'd call it a legacy, but maybe it would, that, it's awesome when you go back and like the Steven Stamkos of the world and the Victor Hedmans know your name and say hi. And they're carrying on that tradition, I guess, the winning culture, and, passing on the next generation, the Kucherovs, the Braden Points, and so on and so forth. So, I think just everything, the culture would be the best way to surmise it, but just everything about the team and the players changed.
So you mentioned on other shows before that some teams, and the Lightning eventually figured this out in the current core, don't know how to not lose. I'm curious because you mentioned a couple times with your last answer about figuring out how to win. What takes a team from going to that, we are tired of losing mentality to that we would like to start winning mentality?
Well, I think everybody wants to win. I mean, everybody that plays sports, you want to win. I want to win. I play chess. I want to win. Pickleball. I want to win. It was very difficult. It was hard playing. There's some guys that are pretty good. Julian Breezebois and Freddie Modine. There's some good players out there, but saying you want to win and doing what it takes to win are two different things. So, I think it's doing what it takes. I think that'd be the best way to surmise it, is that again, it sounds stupid, but winning is hard. Winning is very difficult. That's why it's not easy to repeat. You don't see very many teams. So what the Lightning have done, last bunch of years and making it to the finals as many times as they have, it's really hard. And I think it'd be like, I want to score, but I'm not going to put my team in a bad spot, like doing a toe drag at the blue line or the red line and maybe giving up a 2-on-1 the other way. Or so for me, that's what it is. Like, doing what it takes to win or wanting to win is, I'm going to take a hit, or I'm going to take a slash and not retaliate, or I'm going to put the puck in. Knowing when to make a play, I think, is a big thing. Time of the game, is it a tie game? Or are we up by a couple goals? And you watch hockey now, and it's like, oh my God, like, teams are up by 3, and then all of a sudden it's a tie game and they're down. It's like you watch guys like trying to make plays. It's like, no, just chip it in. just chip it in. Why are you trying to beat a guy one-on-one? Why are you trying to dangle? So I just think, again, winning is really hard. And I'm lucky enough to have done it twice. I'm lucky enough to do it with a great bunch of guys and coaches and staff. And it's just a commitment to buying in, and I need you to do this. Maybe you don't want to do that, but I need you to play defense, or I need you to play right wing, and you're usually a left winger. That's for me. That's what it is, and the buy-in from guys and everybody that's they're willing to do what it takes. And not everyone is. They say they are until it gets down to it. And then, are you willing to block a shot? Are you willing to play with a broken toe? Or like Chuck had his big toe was broken. It was gross. He had ice in a little. They get a trainer get him a little bowl of ice. He'd stick his not very pretty feet, but his foot was killing him. He put him in. They put it. He'd take his skate off, and he put it in the ice bowl there, and ice it down, then wrap it, and they do the same thing and rinse and repeat. So it's very difficult.
Well, speaking of doing what it takes, you played a lot of those tough grinder type of minutes. You had 140 penalty minutes that year. The second most of your career was 16 fights. What was one of the most memorable fights for you that season?
Oh, the season I had 16 fights. Oh man, I don't know. To be honest with you, it's a blur. A lot of them are the years. Someone said my first shift with Tampa, I fought George Larac. I didn't even remember that. I was like, man, actually, I did. So, and I fought him like, I don't know, I think a career in my life, I fought George 5-6 times. Great guy, thank God, because he's tough as heck. But memorable fights. Fought Bugner. It was a good one. He punched me in the throat, and I was like, what are you doing, man? He just punched me in the throat because we kind of knew each other. Fighting Chris Neal, like it was that year a couple times, different times. The one I got the better of him pretty good. Fighting Chara was not fun. I think that was that year, but I'm not sure. Vinny wanted to fight for whatever reason. Vinny got mad and wanted to fight Chara. That was not a good life choice. So it was going okay till Chara got mad, and then he had Vinny down like this, and he didn't hit him. Or like, God, don't hit him. And then the next time we played him in Ottawa, someone's got to fight Chara. And it wasn't even his fault. Vinny wanted to fight him, but so it's my job. And Andre had the flu or something, or wasn't playing that game, and so I know I got to fight him. So I'm trying to be smart and thinking, okay, he's 6'9", I'm maybe 6'4". I'm gonna want to try and fight him at a whistle or where I'm in tight, and so it was perfect. I waited for an icing, goes down, the rest blow the whistle. Whenever I go in, I'm like, come on, we're going, we got to fight. And he knew, whatever. So he was ready, and then the linesman go, no, nothing's going on here. No one's fighting. And they go like this and push us aside. And then Char drops his gloves, goes, okay, we'll fight. So he drops his gloves and then grabs me right here, straightens his arm out. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm dead. So that happened. He straightened his arm out. And I'm like, I'm so screwed. And so I was like swinging, like eating like 3 or 4 and swinging. I can't even hit him. And then they just ended up throwing him down or something. And so I didn't get killed or anything. And I looked at the linesman after. I'm like, what's wrong with you guys? They're like, what? I'm like, why do that? Like, we're not fighting, and then we're fighting as soon as he drops his gloves. And they're like, well, we didn't know. And I was like, I was so mad. So that was a pretty memorable one, I guess.
We know that you've talked about what it takes to win and the certain roles. And, sometimes it's not about scoring goals, but one of the more memorable goals, I think, for a lot of older Lightning fans, and even for myself going through the old 04 playoff run, was the goal that you scored against the Flyers in the conference finals. What was that experience like, coming in off the rush and getting a goal in such a big time momentum pushing game in game 1?
Oh, I scored game 1. Was it game 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I knew I scored in that series. I didn't know it was game 1, to be honest with you. Again, it's all like kind of a blur, but how did it feel? It felt unbelievable. I knew what my job was, and my line's job was to make the other team play hard minutes, make them play, and to make the other team's defensemen play in their own end. And, just hit, not take penalties. It's really tough. Be really physical, not take penalties. And, of course, everyone wants to be the goal scorer. And, the Vinny Cavalier, the Brad Richards, and Richie scored 12 goals or 14 goals and 7-game winners. It's still a record to this day. So I think you want to contribute any way you can, and my role is not to score necessarily, but when you can score, man, pretty good feeling. But I still cross dumped for Andre, and I knew he was wheeling in, and he's got a cannon for a slap shot, so I just cross dumped it, bounced out. He hit, I think it was Robert Esch, hit him right here, and as soon as he hit him, it was like, oh God, he stunned him, and he was like, he fell over or something, and puck had an empty net, and the old backhand slapper. So felt really good. I hugged my buddies. Stinky Frenchman. I'm kidding. No, Andre's one of the best dudes ever. So yeah, I just hugged my teammates. It was nice to score and contribute, and 20,000 plus people cheering for you. So it was great.
You've talked about how loud the arena got when the clock finally hit zeros in that Game 7 to win the Stanley Cup. But before we get to the celebrations, I want to know, what were your thoughts when Dave Andreychuk took a penalty with 22 seconds to go right before you guys are about to clinch and win the Stanley Cup?
I was thinking it was a garbage call, to be honest with you. It was the old even upper. So I didn't think we were going to lose, to be honest. I think the way we were playing, and Calgary's a great team. Jerome McGinley's a great, unbelievable person, leader, hockey player. But when you go into Game 6, and I did it with Colorado too, you go in, you win Game 6, and they have the cup in the building. They got to come back or get on the road and go for Game 7. I knew we were ready to play. We got a lead, which was huge, and Ferentz took that penalty on Marty, which was a penalty, and there everyone's arguing it. I see videos here and there, and Gigi's losing his mind, screaming at the ref, and Ferentz just kind of looked and was like, "What are you doing? That's stupid. That's a penalty. You buried him, you blindsided him, and not only that, you blindsided him, then you followed through and high sticked him, and you're arguing the call. You only got 2. You should have got 5 and a 10, and so to get that call, which the ref had to call it, but I know he didn't want to, because you don't want to be the deciding factor in a big game like that, in a series clincher, Stanley Cup clinching game. And so I played with a teammate years ago, Jeff Odgers, and he always tell me, when one team gets a couple power plays, he's like, don't even touch, don't even put your stick anywhere near a guy's hands, because the refs are looking to call something. And as soon as they called that, it was like Andy. I think it wasn't even Andy. It was I think it was a Finisenkov. So after he was hooking, this was in the era when hooking really wasn't a penalty. So you're hooking guys, you hook them and you let go, and then you hook a couple more times. And after he was hooking the guy from I think literally the top of the circles to the blue line. And I think Andy put his stick in, and they called a penalty. So I'm rambling on, but I thought it was garbage. It was just strictly an even up call, the old even up or so. But I didn't feel like we were in danger of losing. I really didn't. I thought just the way our team was, and Javi was unbelievable. He was dialed in. He was making saves, and he did. So that was my feeling. Just let the clock tick down.
So letting the clock tick down, clock at 0, you guys get to celebrate, and then there's the old fabled day with the cup. We want to know, what did you do with your day with the cup?
Drank a lot of beer at numerous places. Both times you just shared friends and family. Went to Children's Hospital and did a lot of pictures. A lot of pictures. The cup's pretty heavy. It's 35 and a half pounds or 37. And you're standing there like this for half the day, sweating. So I had to change clothes for sure. And then I had some backup deodorant, and just had that, a lot of pictures. And I had a party in a buddy's bar, and I had a band, cover band that I had from my previous cup party, Mustard Smile, they're called. And just got on my drummer. So I got up and played with them for 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour. I don't know. The second time I played for quite a while, and I just had fun. Just let my friends enjoy it, take pictures. And it's a cool trophy. It wouldn't be fun if it was an individual sport. I'd win in the cup by yourself, whatever, drink out of it. But the beauty of it is it's a team sport, and you celebrate with your friends and your buddies and your teammates, and then you have your day with your family. And for me, I was just having fun celebrating and taking it all in. And my name's going to be in the Hall of Fame. and it's going to be on a trophy with the likes of Wayne Gretzky and Larry Robinson and Bobby Orr and Bob Gainey and going down the line. So it's pretty surreal. So I just had a lot of fun. Let's just put it that way.
The '04 team talks a lot about how that team was such a tight group, and you guys love to have a lot of fun after games and wins like that. Were you all a little bit jealous that you didn't get to do a boat parade like they've started doing now with the team?
Oh, no, not at all. Probably drowned, to be honest with you. No, I think that's awesome. I think it's awesome. I'm not jealous. I think I'm like, I can't believe we didn't think of that. But we all lived in, back in the day, we all lived in New Tampa. So I guess a lot of the guys live the yacht club or I don't know, somewhere on the water. So I got a kick out of when Clorne was wheeling around on the sea doing stuff and doing interviews. I love that stuff. I think it's awesome. So yeah, excuse me, not you got to bear with me. I was just I had a meeting that lasted an hour. It was an hour and a half, and I talked nonstop, so my throat's kind of shot and was telling a lot of these stories. So hopefully I'm warmed up to it. But yeah, not jealous. Awesome. Envious would be a better word to use. I wish we would have thought of that, and I would have been doing cannonballs. But one of us probably we would have sunk the cup. I think we would have had to call it a rescue team or Scuba Steve to go down and get it because someone would have done something.
So after the 2003-2004 season, it was a team that really did look like it had the opportunity to repeat with all of the guys that were still under contract and ready to go. And you guys didn't get a chance to defend your title. But you specifically, what were you doing during the lockout year? Because there's not a lot of info for hockey stats pages out there for you.
So what did I do during the lockout? I went to Motley Crue when they got back together, the second show. I played a lot of golf, but I worked out and skated and I trained. I was thinking of going to Europe, and I know a lot of guys did, and they were encouraging guys to go. And looking back, I probably should have, but I had friends who were playing in Europe, and I had a pretty good friend that was playing in the city, and they got a bunch of NHL players. And then he got punted, and he was like sour, like not happy about it. But I mean, the guys were being told by the NHLPA, like go over there and play, show them what they're missing, kind of thing. And but I didn't want to do that, and maybe I should have. But yeah, I just golfed and worked out and skated, and I was in Tampa, and then I came back to Edmonton, and I thought it'd be great because Edmonton, it's winter, and I wasn't in Edmonton first. No, I don't know. I forget which way it was. And no, yeah, in Edmonton, and I was here, and then I thought, like, oh, we got all the Oilers guys here, and a bunch of other guys are from Edmonton. There's more guys playing in. Let me put it this way: there's more guys from Edmonton that play in the NHL than Tampa. It's just fact life. It's just historically. So I'm like, it'll be all these guys to skate with, and it was really good at first. It was 5 days a week, 4, and then it was 3, and then it was like 2, and then no guys weren't. They figured we weren't going to play once you get into like November, December, like. Are we really going to play? But I trained the whole time like we were going to play and didn't take time off. And because I don't have good metabolism, if I would have put on a bunch of weight, it would have been hardy. And then we had the meetings in January, started January, I think it was in Toronto. We had NHLPA meetings and they invited anybody who wanted to go and they'd take care of it. And so we're talking about, the lockout and what's going on. Can you get a deal done? Blah, blah, blah. And I was looking around the room and like, a third of the guys couldn't have played. They're like, "Oh, if we get something done, get it all solidified and have training camp in like 3 weeks." I'm like, "There's no way. Half these guys won't be able to play." Like, Lindros was like, he's a big man, anyways, but I think he was like 300 pounds, man. He was huge. And then like Keith Kachuk was like 270. We had the same trainer, so he still hadn't lost the weight by next year. He was still at like 245. He showed up in St. Louis, and they were not happy. And they're like, "You got like a week to lose the weight." So. My trainer put him on the salad diet or fruit and salad diet or something to lose weight rather quickly. It was like a bodybuilder thing or whatever. So, yeah, I just did that. Just hung out and, went to a lot of concerts and played golf and worked out, basically. Would be the best way to summarize it.
You mentioned you played a lot of golf. Did you ever get a hole in one?
No. Very close. I've been really close a couple times, but never have.
So after the 2005-2006 season. You go overseas for a few years, and then for fans that haven't seen you either in a Lightning jersey or on a Lightning broadcast, because you did that for a few years. What are you up to today?
290. No, I'm kidding. maybe not. I don't know. Presently, I'm doing business. I do business development. My official title is business development specialist for companies called Environmental 360 Solutions. So we do all types of waste management, back truck, hydrovac, roll-off bins, fencing, temporary fencing, portables, pretty much everything waste related. So I do basically sales. So a lot of talking, telling stories, and it's great because there's a lot of guys that play hockey that are in the industry, and a lot of guys that move back to Edmonton, even in Calgary. I'm in Calgary quite a bit and stuff too, and reaching out to guys. So it's a really good network. So yeah, I just do that. I was coaching for a few years there too. And my kids play hockey. I have two boys that played on the same team this year. They just wrapped up Northern at NEX, it's called, it's academy. So a lot of driving. So they just finished, and then they're going to start training. And my younger son, actually, my wife is driving him to Swift Current as we speak, because they called him up for the playoffs. And we have a 4-year-old daughter too. So a lot of, how do I put this? A lot of physical abuse by my 4-year-old jumping on me and wanting to go in my head all the time. And she's awesome though. So yeah, just being a dad, being a parent, working, trying to pay bills. Life's expensive. Hockey sticks are really expensive. So yeah, just hanging with my family and working.
All right, so one of the last things we do here, we've been doing it with all of our guests recently. It's called the Boat Report's Lightning Minute. So I got a couple of quick questions for you, just some fun ones to get to know you a little bit better. Are you ready to go?
Sure. Yep.
All right, let's do it. All right, first one. What would your goal song be today if you were still playing?
Oh, Bad Religion by Godsmack. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, sorry. It's got to be quick. My bad.
No, that's a good one. I like it. Hardest arena to play in?
Philly. Philly's a pretty tough one.
Favorite activity to do outside of hockey?
Sleeping now. A lot of early mornings at rest.
Favorite game you watched as a fan?
Oh man, that's a tough one. One game. Say when Gretzky broke the record, the points record. I thought that was pretty cool.
Who is the best player in the NHL today in your eyes?
Connor McDavid.
Connor McDavid. All right, I like it. Favorite activity? Oh, no, we already did that one. All right, so that's going to do it for us. Thank Kristen, and thank you so much for coming on the show with us. We really do appreciate it. Michael?
Guys, that'll do it for us in this one. As Jake said, if you like this video, hit that like button and make sure you hit the subscribe button as well, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. We'll talk to you in the next one. Go Bolts!
Go Bolts!